All right. And I am live. What's going on, everybody? This is Faith on the Night Ride. And the Night Rider is here. All right, guys, you see the title. The title is Her Body, His Money. And we're going to get right down into the nitty gritty. I told you I was going to start breaking all of this stuff down over the next few days. So, true to my word, the Night Rider is here to break it down for you. What's up, everybody? So, I broke it down yesterday about the three different types of black women that we need to watch and that we need to change in 2021. I told you about the big mama that has died out. I told you about the gold digging mama that has replaced the big mama. And I told you about the baby mamas that don't really pour any attention into their children. And these are the black women that we need to watch and that we need to change in 2021. What's up, Shway? that's my resident sugar baby in the house. But yeah, her body, his money. We finna get down to it, y'all. And today is Thursday, January 19th, and it is officially 10 a.m. in Phoenix. How y'all doing? All right, y'all. So D Darrell and quite a few other content creators, they've been out here talking about the divestment community. They feel as if they took a big L. That was D Darrell's topic to his live stream earlier today, or last night, that is. And I have to agree with my brother D Darrell. They did take a big L. But I'm not going to dwell on that because people make mistakes. You know, we're not going to keep washing people's faces with their mistakes because we're all human, right? And because we're all human, we are subject to fallacy, to failure. So, yeah, Shira 7 made a mistake, but you know what? Shira 7 put us up on a whole lot of good game. Her and Crystal and Harrison. And Cynthia G and the likes of all of them. So they all bring something to the table that we all need. However, we cannot just dwell on bringing your body to the table in exchange for cash. You know what they call that, right? We all know what they call that. So we're going to talk about why it's not really good to focus so much on somebody else's money all the time. Okay? Now, I'm just going to put this out there. I do not believe in black women settling for struggle love. Okay, struggle love, that ish is for the birds. Okay, don't nobody got no time for none of that. Don't nobody got no time to be with Junebug and he's sitting up here talking about some just bear with me while I'm working at Popeyes. Don't nobody got no time to be dealing with dirty penis Richard. And he's sitting up here talking about some, yeah, I know I'm just an intern right now at IBM, but if you stick with me, I will potentially become supervisor or manager over this department. We ain't got time for that, okay? If Junebird and Richard ain't got their ish together, ladies, you ain't got to settle for struggle love. Ain't nobody never saying none of that. Okay, so people running around talking about give struggle love a chance. Yeah, they can have several seats. We not trying to hear that. Okay. Yes, Jason, same thing and vice versa. Absolutely. But here's the thing, y'all. Okay, ladies, you absolutely are supposed to have standards. Okay, you're not supposed to sit up here and lay down and give your body to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that asks for it, and you sit up here and look at just potential. You cannot measure potential. Okay, so that is BS right there. And anybody telling you that you should settle for potential, you can tell them to go and kiss where the sun don't shine. We don't have time for none of that. But at the same time, we don't want to have the whole mentality either. Okay, the whole mentality ain't cute and it ain't cool either. Now, my brother D. Darrell, he shared some information with us that I thought was very, very valuable to the young listeners out there and very cautionary tale. And I like D. Darrell because he's authentic about his life and he doesn't hold anything back. He shared information about his father and his mother, who recently passed away. May she rest in peace. But his father has a girlfriend, and his father's in his 80s. His girlfriend, she's in her mid 40s. And D. Darrell said something earlier that kind of stuck with me, but he said that if you are trying to be a sugar baby in your 40s, you have failed in life. And I have to agree with Brother D. Darrell when he made that assessment because when you are a woman in your 40s talking about you're going to be a sugar baby, who's going to be your sugar daddy? Because usually men who are also in your age range, up in their 40s, they don't want you because they're looking at women in their 20s and 30s. Usually, when you're a sugar baby in your 40s, the guys that you're getting are these old, getting ready for the grave type Negroes. We're talking men that are like 70s, 80s, like D. Darrell's father. And no disrespect to the young lady that's with D. Darrell's father. I'm quite sure she's a nice lady. But what D. Darrell described last night in his live stream was a woman who's a maid because she's cleaning. She's a cook because she's in there cooking. And she's a sex worker because she's in there giving up the pom pom. That's work. That is work. So now you are a free nurse and sex worker. CNA, nurse, sex worker. You're all those things. And what are you getting in return? Now, D. Darrell also told me that his father does not want to remarry. So he's up in his 80s. He's getting ready to go soon. I surely hope, I really, really hope for that woman's sake that she's been doing all these things. She's having sex with him, she's cooking, she's cleaning, she's taking care of him, being the free nurse. I really hope that he at least puts her in his will and takes care of her in some capacity after he's gone. Because if he doesn't, then everything that he has is going to go to his children. That would be Dee Darrell, his brothers and sisters, etc. Right? And she would get what for all the years of sleeping with him, bathing him, changing his diaper, probably cooking, cleaning. What does she get in return? Yeah, yeah, she might get a little car, but you know, cars depreciate and eventually break down, right? He may have given her a little allowance, but when he's gone, that allowance is gone. So surely, I hope, we pray that she's in the will some kind of way. And see, this is the cautionary tale as to why being the sugar baby can be detrimental. Hmm? Huh, Shlay? I'm messing with Shrey Celeste. She's the official sugar baby representative down there. I love Shlay. She says, don't forget, oh, maid and chauffeur. Yes, yes. So she definitely has to drive him around. At 80, he's probably not driving either. So absolutely. Jason says she's waiting for him to kick the can for that paper. Right, but even if he kicks the can, he didn't marry her. There are, common law. Maybe she could be protected under that. Maybe, but those children could come in and usurp all of that. So, you never know, right? Yes, Celeste. Somebody got to advocate for the sugar babies. My thing is this, guys. If you're in your 40s, you have not secured the bag, nobody's married you, put a ring on your finger. Is it wise to be a sugar baby to a man in his 70s and 80s who has expressed that he does not want to marry you? Now, I'm going to tell you how that could work out. Now, this is how I would work it, okay? I would not move in with him because, see, if you're not going to marry me, you cannot monopolize all of my time. You can get a little bit of my time for an extravagant amount of your money, but you can't have all of it because, see, I'm not in the will and I don't have a ring on my finger. And when you get to be that age, your beauty is declining and your age is also declining along with him. So when he kicks the bucket, she's almost in her 50s. What are the odds of her getting another sugar daddy in her 50s? So she kind of gotta have something else going for her. I hope she's investing some of that money that he's been giving her, or that she has taken some kind of course and got some sort of certification. She's gone back to school or something. She's got something going for herself after he kicks that bucket. Because after you turn a certain age, it's real hard, real hard. Because now your competition are women in their 20s. So if you're a sugar baby at 40, Dee Darrell was absolutely right. You have failed at life. So sugar babies beware. And another thing that Deidre Rail pointed out earlier, a lot of these sugar daddies, a lot of these sugar daddies feel like they are entitled to the poom poom because they got money. They think that they should have all the pretty ladies and those legs wide open to them because they got the money to afford it. So not all of the sugar babies are being chosen for marriage. There are a lot of sugar daddies out here pumping and dumping. There are a lot of sugar daddies out here making baby mamas and paying child support. So beware of that as well. Not all sugar babies are being chosen. Now you add to the fact, and I know a lot of y'all don't like numbers. Y'all don't like to crunch and do math. That's the problem with a lot of black women. We don't like mathematics, and we don't like reality, and we don't like anybody to burst our fantasy bubbles. We want to live in fairy tale land, and we want people to tell us what we want to hear. But it's not just black women, black men are like that too. Hence the black men that are enamored with the avatar. They like Fantasy Island too. That's a thing that a lot of black people like. We live on Fantasy Island. We don't want nobody to burst our bubbles. But right now the focus is on black women. So let me be completely and brutally honest with you guys, okay? If you are a sugar baby in your 20s and you have not locked down sugar daddy by the time you're in your mid 30s, it's time for you to do something else. Actually, the smart sugar baby would already have something going for herself. Now, yes, Shui, not the statistics, not the statistics. Yeah, we're gonna have to go to the statistics because we all know that there are not a whole lot of six figure, not a whole lot of millionaire, not a whole lot of high value monetarily wise black men in our community. And also, statistically speaking, when we look at the studies done on interracial marriages, and when it goes into correlation with income, black women are not getting with white men. Not very many of us are landing those non-black men that fall into the super rich category either. So I'm going to just say this to you guys. Reality is a hell of a drug, right? Well, not reality, but fantasy is a hell of a drug, okay? When people go online and they sell you these dreams of being Cinderella, being swept off your feet by the rich Prince Charming, they tell you go older. But they don't tell you that when you go older, you're going to be looking at them saggy balls. You're going to deal with erectile dysfunction and you won't be attracted to the guy. You will be attracted to his money. And some women tell themselves, in order to make themselves feel good, they'll say, you know what? I am on top of this old man every night that I'm not physically attracted to. But if I go into the far, far reticences of my mind, if I just turn on my imagination, when I look down, I don't see none of that gray hair and that wrinkly skin. I see a young Idris Elba or young Morse chestnut. I don't see this old, wrinkly, unattractive, out of shape old man that I'm riding. And then when they're done, they're laying there in the bed and they're thinking to themselves, instead of counting sheep before you go to sleep, you're counting the dollars in your bank account, right? Because this is what you do to make yourself feel better. He's holding you, hugging you, kissing your neck, and all of that type of stuff. But in the back of your mind, you're hooking up with Tyrone tomorrow so that you can get your real fix. And so visions of dollar signs in your bank account going over your head like sheep, you fall asleep wistfully, comfortably in that rich man's arms as you dream about taking that money and kicking it with Tyrone later. And this is what you have to do every day to justify it. Yes, Shway, the imagination is a hell of a thing. And see, I don't I don't necessarily look down upon women that do this, okay? Because hey, if you're going to be giving that thing up, at least give it up to somebody that's going to offer you something. Because there are women out here that are literally giving that thing up for 99 cents in a pack of M&Ms. So it's better than that. Don't get me wrong at all. Hey, I got more respect for the gold digger than the female that's sitting up there busting it open for Pookie that ain't even got no job. And he's sitting up there playing Atari and Nintendo and Xbox, or maybe sometimes all three, in her living room while she go to work every day. I got more respect for that chick that have to sit up there and count them dollars in her bank account every night. She's at least better than that, but she's only a step above that. She's only a step above that. Neither of these women are totally fulfilled. And this is what a lot of the get the bag coaches don't want you to know while you rushing to get the bag. Because see, a lot of us, we live in poverty. We're poor. We don't get nothing. So we feel like all money is good money. And I'm here to tell you, all money ain't good money, especially when you feel like a prisoner in your own home. And a lot of these guys that got this money, they giving it to you, they're very controlling. Dita Rail did not lie about that. They do try to monopolize a lot of your time. So that's the reason why they don't mind buying the house. They won't necessarily put your name on it because, once again, if they put your name on it, they're not going to be able to control you. Some of them even will give you a car, but they won't put your name on it because if they put your name on it, they won't be able to control you. So a lot of these women that you see riding around in the Mercedes, living in the big house, they got it, but there's strings that come attached to it. And see, you can sit up here and say, oh, I'm going to make sure he put my name on the title. I'm going to make sure he put my name on the house. If this nigga tell you, I'm going to let you drive this car, I'm going to give this car, this is your car, but I ain't putting your name on it, what you going to do? Because the same way that you open your legs for the little change that he was throwing you, somebody else will do it too. And they will take that car and that house under them conditions. So what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit. I'm just gonna be honest. All you gonna do is come online and pretend and lie like everybody else. But they don't tell you the strings that come attached to some of this money and the controlling and the manipulation of your time. Now, as they get older, it becomes very, very hard for them to monopolize your time. So they try to pull the strings with the money. So you might get a little freedom when they turn 80 and they can't chase you. So there's some solace in that. But once again, I have more respect for these women that get the bag that way than I do the women that bust it open for nothing. So, like I said, they are a notch above those, just a notch. But neither one are totally fulfilled. Now, do you know what it feels like when you get with a man that you have things in common with? Do you know what it feels like to actually be romanced by somebody that you're intellectually, mentally, physically, emotionally tied to in every way? It's not struggle love, but you ain't balling out of control either. But you're both on the same level playing field. It's not a 50-50 relationship because any man worth his salt is going to want to take care of his woman. When you find that and the total satisfaction of waking up in the arms of a man that you actually love, that every time you see his name come across the screen of your phone, your heart skips a beat. He taking you to Michelin 3-star restaurants, and the bill is anywhere between $300 and $400 every time. He's sending you gifts and trinkets and flowers just because. Now it may not be a Mercedes, but it's worth a hell of a lot more than that. And this is a man that you want to bear his children. This is a man that you love taking the family photos with. When you look at him and he looks at you, you both have that lust and desire in your eyes for each other. What is that worth? Have you forgotten what that's worth? Because I'm going to tell you, it's pretty priceless. When you find a man that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt loves you and worships the ground that you walk on, and you love him back in the same measure, when you get together, it's like fireworks. And not only is this man fine to you, I said to you, and he's hitting all the marks, satisfying all the needs. And it's not just his money that keeps you running back. That is priceless. That is high value. So when I see females running around talking about their Mercedes, talking about their house, They got pictures of themselves next to the Mercedes. They got pictures of themselves next to their house. They got pictures of themselves next to they diamonds or whatever. But you don't never see them posing with their man. You don't never see that they got trips. They got pictures of themselves when they in Spain and in Italy, but they don't got pictures of themselves in Spain and in Italy with their man because they man 99 years old and they don't think he's a prize. They not excited about that man. You may as well be by yourself. Yeah, I said it. You may as well be by yourself. If you got to be posing in pictures in Spain and you can't show your man off because you're not particularly proud of him because he's 50 years older than you may as well be by yourself. And even if you got sad boo, you can't pose in no pictures with sad boo and post it on your Facebook and Instagram because somebody that your man know or your man may see. You may as well be by yourself. But I do have a certain amount of respect. I do envy the women that can sit up here and pose in their pictures with their husbands and boyfriends proudly, and they are happy to be with those guys, genuinely happy. That's priceless. That's something that you envy because it's not struggle love. They're not struggling with these guys. These guys treat them good, put them in nice houses. They have beautiful families with these guys because they chose not with just their heart and not just with their head, but they had a combination of both. They utilized common sense. Shui says it's like the richer they are, the weirder they get. Yeah, and that is true. And they're going to want a lot of strange things for that little bit of change that they're knocking over to you. And trust and believe to them is change. To you is everything, but to them is change. And some of them have the nerve to try to nickel and dime. But here's how I would play it. I mean, if I was going to do a sugar baby thing and I'm like in my 20s, and I know the guy's going to be a couple of decades older, depending on how much older, because like guy in his 40s, that's okay. He's still rather young and virile, in my opinion. That's not bad. But if you're a sugar baby in your 40s and the guy that you're getting with is like already in his 60s, you're starting out on the decline. The quality of life with this guy is going to be shit. I'm just going to be honest. So sugar baby at 20 is not the same as sugar baby at 40. Let's not get it twisted. Even though there are some fine women running around here in their 40s. I happen to think Crystal and Carrison looks great. And she's going on 50. So not saying that, they're not fine women in their 40s and 50s, but let's just be honest. Look at Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey looks good. I don't think she's going to be a sugar baby in her 50s, though. Commendable K says being a sugar baby comes with a price, and the price is not being able to afford class. Exactly. But yeah, I would play it like that. If I'm in my 20s, it's cool. I would, if I have student loans, I would make sure that sugar daddy paying down the sugar loans so that I'm debt free. So if you're a sugar baby and you're investing some of that sugar baby money into not having debt because you're in college, you're smart. Okay, that's an investment that's going to pay off. If you're a sugar baby and you're using some of that sugar daddy money to invest while you're young, that is smart. But how you become a sugar baby in your 40s, huh? How you 40 years old talking about you a sugar baby? That means you ain't invested nothing, you ain't paid off no debts. You just sat up here and relied on your looks for far too long. And you had better have a skill after that old man kicks the bucket. Kenny Conjo says, "Hey, Faith, long time no see. Just stopping through to say Happy New Year and wish you a successful year in 2021." Thank you, Kenny. And thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. And also, guys, please check out Kenny Conjo along with this crew and Fourth Quarter Talk. I said I was going to get around it because I know that Third War Columbian sent me some emails to go over there, but I was focusing on some other things during that time. So I will definitely be over there to support you guys and check you all out. And the rest of you, please check them out as well. But back to the sugar baby talk, y'all, because I ain't got too long to be on here before I start entering into the bad areas where my signal starts dropping off. So I said that I was going to cut it short when I know I'm entering into those areas. There is a lot of emphasis being put on his money for your body. And make no mistakes about it. It is what it is, ladies. Money in exchange for sex, companionship, whatever you call it, you're an escort, you're a prostitute. It is what it is. Now, we try to make it sound sexy where we say kept women, but his money in exchange for your body, that's what it is. Okay. What's up, bro? Speak. Bro, speak coming through saying hello. So, while I don't look down upon the women that do this, I do want you to know that we know what it is. I got nothing against the women that do this though, but call it what it is. Be honest about it. Because that way, when you're honest with yourself and you're straightforward in what you're doing, your expectations and everything will be clear. You'll be more realistic about what's going to happen. Once again, all of these high value men are not marrying these sugar babies. There's a lot of ran through sugar babies out here, a lot of pretty, a lot of beautiful ran through sugar babies out here, getting ran through by rich men trying to get the bag. And some of them are getting ran through by Pookie and Ray Ray because they don't like the rich men that they're sleeping with. So they're so wide open at the end of the day. Exactly, bro speaks. They're long-term escorts at the end of the day. And the ones that do hit the lottery, and let me tell you, this is how I break down black women who actually get the bag. I'll tell you all, like I told my son, because my son was a damn good football player, right, in high school. And he wanted to be drafted into the NFL. And I told my son this. I said, yes, you got the skills, you got the capability. You could very well get drafted. But let me tell you the reality. Only 2% of the young men in college or high school get drafted into the NFL. 2%. That's a very small number. And the same thing for you young ladies. It's a small number of high value men and a small number of high value non-black men who are willing to date black women. Let's be honest. I know we don't like to hear this. Least desired, okay? Black men don't even like to hear that they're least desired. But when they date us, that's what it is. 2% of y'all, when you date out, are going to get these high earning, high six figure non black men. It's the same as with the NFL draft. So when I tell my son, you bet to have a plan B in case this NFL thing don't work out for you. It's the same thing I'm going to tell you beautiful, pretty young women. You're definitely beautiful. You're definitely pretty. You turn a lot of heads. You got what it takes. You can do it, right? But only 2% of you will make it. So you had better have another plan besides all of that. And I hate to be the one to burst your fairy tale bubble, but it is very comparable to making it into the NBA and NFL. There's a lot of talented guys that didn't make it. There's a lot of beautiful women that ain't gonna make it. And with that, I think I'm going to end it on that note because I do believe I'm going to end up driving off into a non-service area. But until next time on Faith in the Night Ride, tomorrow I will be expanding a little bit on what I said today. Each day I will expand a little bit more. But until then, you guys take care. You all are the real MVPs. I do thank everybody that came through to listen. And if you're listening on the replay, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please hit the like button because that does keep me on top. Share me out because that brings more people in to be part of the conversation. And pretty soon I will be opening up the panels so that you all can come up and you can have your say on these conversations. But until next time, peace.